Hello YouTube, this is Jordan Game 44 here, and today I'm here to talk about Steven Universe Future, the rest of the episodes. Okay guys, I'll admit, with all this drama and ridiculousness, with a lot of stuff been going on, and pretty much now that Steven Universe Future is over, and I pretty much can't come up with how to review each episode, I decided why not I just talk about the rest of the episode altogether. So, pretty much I'm going to talk about a little bit of each episode, but just pretty much discuss my feelings on them. Pretty much throughout the rest after the whole entire 11 episodes, the next ones we get is where Connie and Steven are pretty much going the one day with Bismuth. We get interesting looks that see Bismuth and Pearl are romantically interested, but could be just really friends. Haha. Connie and Steven are pretty much getting closer in this episode, with Steven meeting other other humans around his own age with Connie's friends, which is really kind of nice to see because we never really saw that. I mean, we saw Onion, Lars, but they were all older or younger than him. This was more around his own age. It was really interesting, actually. At the end, it was a really good ending, and I found it to be great. It leads us to the next one where we see Ruby and Sapphire's new form and everything. What do they finally look like after they split? Ruby and Sapphire are actually pretty much are splitting, and they try to give Steven a rise about he should have proposed to Connie. It's pretty much a funny episode, and at the end, it pretty much explains what happened, and we thought Steven fall down really fast. Yeah, that was all interesting. I got to admit, seeing Ruby and Sapphire's new forms was definitely great, and all. Anyway, which brings us into the Growing Pains episode. Growing Pains, well, I have got to admit. Growing Pains was actually interesting. It pretty much follows up from what happened last, but it pretty much starts explaining. And he pretty much starts kind of explaining how he felt with Connie and everything. And pretty much we get to see a lot of trauma with Connie, the Dr. Steven's doctor, who is Connie's mother, actually starts talking about trauma. And basically we get to see flashback from all so many episodes, even from the very first one. And from the very first. It was really nice. Anyway, Steven starts growing uncontrollably and pretty much loses control, gets angry. His dad comes, tries to cheer him up, and basically he's able to shrink down. This episode was really interesting because it shows us a lot of Steven and everything about trauma, trying to actually figure out things out, and pretty much he might have started figuring it out, but he's still having more problems, and it seems like it got worse. The next episode leads to Greg's dagger, I think. I kind of forgot the episode with. I kind of forgot some of these episode names, so please don't blame me if I mess them up. Anyway, Steven, in this episode, Greg is trying to cheer him up and everything, and the later part of the episode, we finally get to see Greg's parents. Well, not exactly, but Greg's parents are pretty much in the background, pictures and everything. It was really nice, and we get to see their house, which, dang, Greg never actually cared to at least show them that. Although it makes you wonder, if he knew where they were the whole entire time, how come he never came to visit? Although it kind of gets to explain why maybe he really did not want nothing to do with them, since he had a miserable childhood and really did not want Steven to be around them. Probably. It would have been interesting if we did get a chance to see them, but it was nice. But at the end of the day, Steven starts blocking out his dad, and after they got in a car crash, which this episode was interesting. And finally, well, next is Jasper and him. Steven is getting more and more unstable, and pretty much we found that running really fast speed was not connected to Smoky Quartz, it was also just to Steven. And Steven pretty much runs over to Jasper really fast, where all the crystal gems are going very slow. Jasper thinks they're going for a rematch, but Steven and him start training together. And well, it's kind of great because we get to see how this goes after 3 days. It was really funny, absolutely really great. So pretty much at the end of the episode, Steven pretty much shatters Jasper, and actually now has to fix him. He's able to. Bismuth now respects Jasper and everything. Oh my god, I'm messing up the name. Sorry, everyone. Jasper is messing up. Jasper has now finally respected Steven, now calling him My Diamond. Which leads us into the next episode, which, to be honest, I feel like I could have made a full review, but since the other 3 ones I couldn't, I decided to wrap this all up to get this over with. So we get to see Spinel, Yellow Diamond's new powers, is, well, actually changing gems' physical forms and actually fixing up corrupted gems in a way. That's actually really surprising. It was actually nice seeing that, so it's a form of healing ability. Blue Diamond's ability to create clouds run tears and actually make when people touch them they feel happy. White Diamond with that finally gets us to where we get to see the entry card from the intro, pretty much how they look. Of course, it looks more like the Spinel's form. And pretty much we get to see Steven and White Diamond talking together, and wow, it kind of goes stark quick. At the end, Steven runs away and dropping one of his sandals, which is kind of like a Cinderella reference. Then runs away, we have no idea where he left. I will admit, I was surprised seeing the last 3 episodes were all connected, because I thought we would have still 2 more for the next 2 weeks. But no, they decided to air all through it. In a way, it's understandable, I guess, since how connected and close they were. Since like they only took like a few minutes or a few hours apart from each other from the timeline of 3 episodes. But nonetheless, let's get into them. This episode finally starts to get Steven to break down and everything. Steven is trying to help, messing things up, he's having problems, he's been hiding things, and wow, this actually gets really interesting. Steven tries to help and actually destroys a little bit of part of the little homeworld, messing things up really, making things worse, and at the end, Steven and everyone knows it. He's starting to confess everything that they didn't know. They didn't know Steven was at the hospital with the crystal gems. He didn't tell them about this. He didn't tell them about that. He's been pretty much hiding this. And Jasper being shattered, and oh my god, he finally realized it. He was a monster. Corruption. In episode 19, we finally see the worm, which is more pink than purple, but I guess it was from the shading of from the intro. Now, nonetheless, this was really great, actually. We finally get to see a corrupted Steven. Very powerful. We get to see the cluster of the diamonds, all the gems, different fusions, from Garnet, from... actually, it's just only a few, but still. From Alessandrite, which is understandable. And nonetheless, we pretty much got where Steven and him are all going at. The diamonds try to use their abilities. It does not even work in the slightest. The cluster actually gets in the action, but doesn't work. Connie eventually realized, and everyone else realized, it was their fault since they never really tried to help Steven. So, but then they all decided to work together and everything. That's they pretty much try to convince Steven why they all do care about him and they would never let him go. Saying how much they're thankful for everything he did, and they truly do care about him. And at the end of that, the corrupted gems start crying and returns back to normal wits. There's no corruption marks, surprisingly. We were all expecting that. That was surprising. Although, to be fair, Rebecca Sugar did explain why did all the other gems have corrupted marks on them, with for how long they were corrupted. Steven, at least, you at least thought one of his eyes would still be the same. But no. And Steven just keeps crying and finally letting it all out. By the next episode, we see it's pretty much all wrapping up the whole entire thing. Steven is saying goodbye to everyone. He's doing yoga. He's actually practicing, getting therapy. He's also decided to go leave and everything to go explore and find himself, which is nice. But try and keep in touch with all the gems. That was actually really nice. We get to see what Jasper was doing, which it was really funny. Okay, I'm sorry I kind of just went rushed through every single episode that fast. But truth is, I just wanted to actually finish this all up and everything. But also, it was just like a quick thought everything. Every single episode I thought was actually really good. Good and everything. I like how come we got information about the diamonds with their new abilities. I do like that we got the cluster information where one day the cluster will actually get fixed by Yellow Diamond. I do like for the fact what Blue Diamond has been doing that we like the song My Little Reason Why. I did like that song. It was nice seeing Spinel again. It was finally nice seeing how Steven and White Diamond, what they looked like in the intro, why they looked like that. Steven being corrupted really was not so surprising because after all, we were all pretty much convinced from almost the very beginning. At first it seemed like now this could be a villain, but then again the way how Rebecca Sugar was making the story sound like, everything, it started to piece together, and as the episodes go by and there really was no threat to like an alien invasion or anything, or the creator of the diamonds, yeah, it came to be obvious this was Steven going to become corrupted eventually. Which it was really nice. We finally saw how Jasper reacted, reform. He'll probably just be staying in little homeschool and everything. That's kind of funny. Pearl, Amethyst, Greg, it's nice that Greg now has his own room instead of living in a van. It's nice seeing where Steven's doing. And who knows, maybe one day he'll come back and get married with Connie. Really, this was actually a really great series, and it was way more better than actually Steven Universe Future. Only reason, Steven Universe itself, not Steven Universe Future, the original series. Only reason I'm saying that, because I will admit, Steven Universe did have a lot of flaws and everything, but it was still good nonetheless. Steven Universe Future really didn't have like all those flaws it had in the 5 seasons, but rather it was able to get everything good and wrap up here. It got a lot of unanswered stuff. We got a lot of good more questions about the Diamond's abilities and what's going to happen with the cluster, with corrupted gems, how to fix up the horns, and well, a lot of stuff really gets good. We find out about who Gray's parents are. That was actually great. It was not nice that we did not get a chance to actually meet them, but maybe that we could do that like a fan fiction or something. Maybe Steven meets his grandparents. Then again, he is pretty much like 18 at this point, 18 or 17. And well, it's really nice that we finally got a chance to see how all these gems are. It's nice to see that Steven is now on the road trips. It's really interesting seeing where Bismuth is going with Pearl, but then again, Pearl, Volleyball, Spinel with Pearl. It's really funny to see how all 3 of these gems really are with her. Nice and funny with that. Really, all I have to say, Steven Universe Future was great, and it was actually pretty much. I would really do love to rewatch it again. Oh, and by the way, guys, in case you haven't noticed, which who I'm making, I guess you have noticed, the background is completely different. Yeah, just in case everyone did not actually realize this throughout all the Steven Universe Future episodes, I have been slowly changing up the color from white to this. If you have looked closely from each of the videos, you would have noticed the color is slowly changed, especially from the last one where things story got a little brighter. Since I was going to just do this type of video instead of doing one by one, I decided that I could pretty much do something like this instead. I thought it would have been fun like slowly changing the colors from black, white to black, white, gray into a rainbow color form. But yeah, this is pretty much how it all ended up. But nonetheless, guys, tell me, what do you all think about Steven Universe Future? Do you think it was good? Do you think it was bad? Because I don't really think no one's going to be saying that. But nonetheless, I hope everyone did enjoy this video. And well, I hope you all did enjoy this video, and I hope you all do in Steven Universe Future. But until then, guys, this is Judging Game 44, saying bye!